Hi folks, Paul Plumb here with the Chamber Development Council of Crawford County. We have Pam Soseman here. We're going to go ahead and get started on our weekly podcast. Here we go.
This is Crawford County Connect, the podcast that brings you closer to the heart of Crawford County. Brought to you by the Chamber and Development Council of Crawford County. Our mission is to foster connections, celebrate local stories, and explore the diverse tapestry of our region. From the rolling hills to the bustling streets, Crawford County is alive with history, culture, and the spirit of community. Whether you're a longtime resident, a newcomer, or simply curious about life in our corner of the Midwest, join us as we dive deep into the fabric of our county, uncovering the tales of its people, business, and organizations that make it thrive. Through engaging interviews, insightful discussions, and captivating narratives, Crawford County Connect will be your guide to understanding the past, navigating the present, and envisioning the future of our vibrant community. So sit back, tune in, and let's embark on this journey together as we connect, inspire, and empower one another through the stories of...
We are here at the CDC office at 109 North Main in Denison, Iowa, here with Pam Soseman, the mayor of Denison, but this time kind of representing WIBIO, Women in Business. Pam, tell us a little bit about Women in Business.
You know, I have found that it is a great organization to work with. You get to network with a lot of people you might normally not get to meet and interact with. I was invited into the group probably 10 years or so ago, and I just look at the projects that we have adopted as a women's group and completed, and of all of those, the greatest joy I get from it is the Santa House at Christmas time. This year we brought through around 300 children to the Santa House. And again, we also brought in the horse-drawn wagon rides, which is always a great hit. So a great group of women to work with. We pick a project, we run with it, and it's all for the betterment of our community. We have started reaching out to communities in the county, and we hope to embrace what they're doing and hopefully boost our attendance.
Last year's project, I think, was out in the county, wasn't it? Didn't you do a gardening area?
We did. So, last year we had many small communities within the county that were having celebrations for their centennials. And we were able to assist the city of Chiron in beautifying their park a little bit. They were wanting annuals, but in August you don't find a lot of annuals in Iowa. So we did come back in, and with their assistance, with a Thrivent gift card, we were able to purchase perennials that were planted in their park, and the Women in Business group did go up and plant those flowers for them.
Very nice. How did WIBIO get started?
Well, I wasn't with the initial group. I think I started a short time after. It's my understanding is that they started as a coffee group. I know their first project was in Washington Park, and they were going to beautify Washington Park. The then acting mayor, Brad Bonner, did invite me to join the group as I was going to be installing the rain garden in Washington Park. So it just seemed appropriate that we joined efforts to beautify Washington Park at that time.
And the gardening side, tell me a little bit. I know you have a background in gardening. Tell me a little bit about that.
A little bit about that. So I became a master gardener in 2003. 5 women joined together to put color into the uptown business nodes and planters. When it was formally planted, it was just nannoviburnum, vinca, and locust trees. A concern I saw in the newspaper at that time was there was no color. So at that time, the 5 ladies did fundraising, and for several years, we planted 2,000 purple wave petunias in the planters, and then zinnias in the nodes on Broadway and Main. That's hard to sustain, to do that every year. We found out to be a lot of planting. So then we started coming back with perennial plants.
Gotcha. Very nice. So that gardening kind of led to a lot of volunteering that you do for the city and all around the county, obviously. Tell us what's your favorite project you've done in the year since then?
My favorite project by far is the safety zone If people remember, formerly with the parking lot there was only one storm sewer there. And the concrete would not hold in place because of all the water rushing into that one storm sewer. That's on a slight slant, and it runs directly to that storm drain. And so I worked with a gentleman by the name of Derek Nemani, who brought together a bioretention cell project. And I partnered with the school 4-H, or not 4-H, ag students, worked with 2 teachers, Elise Myers and Dana Wida, and went into the classroom, gave instruction on what plants to look for, what zone to look for, how it would lay out in the bioretention cells. And the purpose of the bioretention cells in the plants is to take up the excess water and then release it like 24 hours later. So the day of planting, we had 630 plants.
Wow.
And, you know, a story that I don't tell, and I know Doug Weavers would just smile when I'm telling this, the plants were deemed to be coming in late, so we were trying to refinagle the date on how that was going to be laid out. But then they came in a month early during a snowstorm. And the local merchant kept them over the weekend, and then Public Works moved them to my house and my garage. So until the weather warmed up, they sat in my garage, and I would have to go out and water each of those plants. And then slowly I moved them to the sunshine as it got warm enough, and then moved them into organizational patterns, certain plants for certain planting areas. The day of planting, I was down there at 5:30 in the morning setting up plants to be planted. When the students came in on their last day of school, I think there were about 35 students, they planted 630 plants in an hour and a half.
Wow, that's awesome. And that program that the school has set up for volunteers has been just a godsend to the community, I think, really.
Absolutely correct.
Yeah, it's we use them so much during Barbecue Fest and any other thing going on. There's always kids that are available to volunteer and give their time back to the community. It's a great thing that they do that, and that it's gets them instilled that volunteerism is very important, not only for the community but for themselves. How you feel after you volunteer.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. So a big main reason we had John here, Pam, is talk a little bit about the WIBIO's event coming up here, Thursday, February 13th, Galentine's Day. Tell us a little bit about that.
Again, it's a good time to gather, whether you're a woman in business, you're retired, or somewhere in between, just to network with those around you. So we will have a social event starting at 5 o'clock at the Old Fashioned in Uptown Denison, and we will have light snacks and beverages available, and then we will go into a meeting. So if you are at all interested in finding any more out about WIBIO, come to the meeting, attend, hear what we're all about, and see if you can step in and maybe assist us every once in a while.
Yeah, I've worked with that group a little bit, and just know it's a great group to be a part of. Great camaraderie there. They enjoy what they do. They enjoy having fun. So I think it's just a neat group to be a part of.
It absolutely is. Last year was our first year for the farm to table event, and how well that was. It just went off so well. People in the bake shop on Saturday and all day Sunday, making sure that event went off well, and you certainly expand your friendships around the county when you do events like this.
You sure do. One thing on it, the folks that are already members, they can bring a friend to learn more about it, I think.
You absolutely can.
Use it for that. And then there are some prizes they can win and networking they can do that whole time there. So I think it's a great event. Cute name for Galentine's, right before Valentine's Day. Gives us guys a chance to remember that Valentine's Day is the very next day. So that's awesome.
A gentle reminder there, Paul.
There you go. I need that. So Pam, thanks a lot for coming in. Any questions on Galentine's Day, call the chamber office here. We can probably help you out with that. Once again, Thursday, February 13th, 5 p.m. at the Old Fashioned. Just come on down, enjoy the get together, and have a good time. Learn more about WIBIO and what that group does. Pam, thanks for all you do in the community, not only as a mayor, but all the volunteering you do. We sure appreciate you and your contributions to the community and to the county. So thank you so much. We are finishing off here. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Have a great time at Galentine's Day, and we look forward to talking to you again.
As we wrap up another episode of Crawford County Connect, we want to extend our heartfelt gratitude to our listeners for joining us on this exploration of our vibrant community. We hope that you've enjoyed the stories, insights, and connections shared today. Remember, the conversation doesn't end here. Stay connected with us on social media and visit our website at www.cdcia.org. From there, you can stay updated on upcoming episodes, events, and opportunities to engage further with Crawford County. We also want to extend a special thank you to the Chamber and Development Council of Crawford County for their support in making this podcast possible.